Give me Parkinson's.
What are we giving back to ourselves? Jennifer made the comment of giving back to others or giving back to. What are we giving back to ourselves to for our mental health?
Yes.
In a word, grace. I'm allowing myself to be sick. I'm forgiving myself for not being able to do all the shit that I want to do. And I'm allowing myself to be vulnerable and ask for help, even though I really don't want to make my day better. Grace.
Booze.
I was gonna say porn, but
No.
It really doesn't hit like it used to, you know?
nothing hits like it used to before. So
But you can find all the weird shit easier now.
that's true.
That's nice.
That
Bigger hard drive, no pun intended.
that's one thing you never hear. I've never heard a Parky talk about, and that is the troubles of masturbation, trying to keep rhythm.
Parky porn. You ever heard me talk about parky porn?
Steve, you're okay, Steve?
I mean, I had
Facts.
a buddy of mine told me the other day. He's like, you just got to switch hands. You'll gain a stroke. And I'm like, but I've always been a righty, so I haven't really had to worry about the left.
It'll be like dating somebody now, you know?
That's right. No, you took the. Come on, that was my line, Jennifer.
It's like sleeping with a stranger.
There you go. You know, before you used to sit on your hand to get there, but now you just switch over to the hand that doesn't work.
Well, listen, I always thought I was bad at sex. Now I can't even please myself. So
You don't actually sleep with a stranger?
Well,
Shit, I've been doing it wrong.
Yeah,
No, you don't have to actually do it, Mel.
you've been doing
Damn
it.
it.
You don't have to get pregnant every time. Okay.
15 people in and you tell me this now?
Well,
Oh.
see, the problem is I was a righty until the internet, and then I had to use the mouse. So I became a lefty, and then my left hand sucks, so I'm back to a righty.
I'm ambidextrous.
Me too.
Only when my meds are on.
How romantic is that? Hang on, babe. Let me go take an extra carbie.
Yeah,
well, it could be better. It's better than taking an extra Viagra.
there you go.
My meds are working today.
But Viagra is cheaper probably than
That's true.
It really is.
which is sad. But you know, hey, you gotta have.
Is that why some of the levodopas are blue?
Could be.
Yeah.
What? He's getting some off-brand shit out of the back of a van somewhere.
Listen, I grew up in Jersey, so that's well entirely possible.
Candy. This candy
I
makes
don't think I've ever seen Steve blush.
I'm sorry, Steve. We're nasty.
You call that nasty? Oh my gosh.
No, you want to know what's nasty? Here,
Whoa.
I'll tell you about
Bring it.
Here, Jen, I don't think you've heard this story. So, when I was first on TikTok, this man was messaging me and just kind of talking about his Parkinson's. He was like, I've never talked to anybody else with Parkinson's. I don't really tell people that I have Parkinson's. He's kind of in the Parkinson's closet, you know?
Is he on this call right now?
No.
Okay.
No.
Damn. I was getting excited.
Are you safe? And
I have an NDA for that story.
So he messages me, you know, and he's messaging me back and forth, and we're just having a normal conversation, and then like just one, you know, over the course of like, you know, several weeks, and he's like, I'm so happy I have someone to talk to about my Parkinson's because I'm getting this off my chest, and I'm like, yeah, go for it, bro. It's fine. I'm an open book, no problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so then one day he just like decides to message me, and he's like, hey, do you have we were talking about tattoos or something, and I was like, I have one on my wrist and one on my hand. And he's like, oh, do you have Snapchat? You could send it to me. I'm like, I have Snapchat, but I don't really use it, you know? And he's like, oh, well, we could have a conversation. And I'm like, yeah. So I stopped talking. I was like, yeah, I'm done.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he was saying,
I
I had posted some video about making cookies or something, and he was like, "Oh, you look really hot in that video," and he just goes off, like raunchy, and
Yeah.
he was like, "So did you want to get on Snapchat or what?" So I messaged him back, and I'm like, "I think you've misunderstood the situation. Like, I'm not." I'm with
No.
somebody. I'm not into that. I'm definitely not into you. This is like the most, and I even said to him, like, that's the most vanilla shit anybody's ever asked me to do in my entire life. First of all, sir.
First of all, sir.
And he was like, I can't believe that my internet crush would rather bake cookies than watch me masturbate. That's what he said to me. And I said to him, sir, I would rather do anything than watch you masturbate. Just so you know.
I shut my DMs off.
I was like, what
I
in the
can't take it.
actual fuck?
Was that something that his meds were off that bad?
I don't know. But then, like, just
Can't
last
be.
week or the week before, this man messaged me, and he was like talking about Parkinson's, and he's like, I hate Parkinson's, and then he was like, I have sexual dysfunction, and I have impulse control, and I was like, yeah, bro, we all have that.
Yeah.
It's cool. Just cross your legs. That's what girls do.
Yeah.
You'll be all right. And he's like, yeah, and my wife and I are swingers now because I need more than one person, and I'm like, dude, why are you telling me this? Like.
You know
I don't
why
understand.
he's telling you.
I said to him, I said,
You
I
know
have
why
no
he's
context.
telling you.
I said, why are you telling me this? He was like, well, I said,
Right.
you could empathize. I said, listen, I'll give you some advice. Find a kink community and do whatever it is that you're interested in.
I'll give him
They're
websites. Tell him call me. I'll give him the websites.
He's got
I'll
him on
give
the
him
ready.
the address.
Repost for him.
I know where they are. Here, bro, go
Why?
here.
Why do they think it's gonna work? Like who is their target audience?
It was like literally
So
anyone.
many.
Like literally anyone. Like
it's like weekly. That's why half the reason I don't fucking post videos all that much, because every time I post something new, some jackhole comes sliding into the DM. Hey, beautiful. It's like,
I think it's funny.
That's
I occasionally like I'll like look for the cheap dopamine and fuck with them, but ugh, it's gross. It's so gross. The things that they say.
But people have no compunction because there's no that filter is gone.
Gone.
Like, and we lose that.
But no one's talking about that, so they don't realize the issue or the.
I don't think these guys were parkies though. I think they just saw my video on their.
And that's one thing that who was it? Heather brought it up with that. That is, it's the Parkinson's. I said no. It's Parkinson's might exacerbate the dysfunction, but the dysfunction was there before the Parkinson's.
It's nature
versus nurture.
Situation.
It's an enhancement kind of thing. It's like when people drink and their personality comes out.
Yeah.
Before,
that's just all the shit you're repressing.
It was there,
but
it's the alcohol, the chemical imbalance.
Yeah. The predilection to act that way is innate. Like it's innate, and then it just gets released by whether you have the lack of impulse control or whatever it is.
Lack of dopamine, lack of
whatever it is that's causing
beer muscles.
But people they like to. I have been nominated as a confessional, so people just tell me their shit.
Everything.
And I'm just like, yeah, okay, yeah, that happens to me too. Cool, okay, no problem.
I'm being called to the other room.
All right,
sorry.
Bye, Steve.
Later, Steve.
It was great talking with you guys.
That is 100% a female problem. I think the other two gentlemen in this chat can attest to the fact that women never slide into your DMs saying shit like that.
Hey, want to see my tits?
Yeah, no.
I don't think the impulse control issue is strictly male.
I'd have to agree with that.
Like, when before I got diagnosed with Parkinson's, the girls were little and I wasn't with their dad. The girl's dad was married. I didn't know when I got pregnant with Alexis. So, I found out when I was pregnant with Alexis, he was married. Still,
Cool.
the second time we won't talk about that, okay? Like, listen,
Mhm.
talking music is fucking sensual. So, anyways, Eric knows. Um, but like, so I wasn't dating anybody, you know, and then I was single, and I decided I was gonna date, and it was not good. It was not good. Like, the impulse control was like, I was not getting second dates. Because everything was already taken care of. They were like, yeah, I don't need to see her again now.
Yeah, we got everything we came here
And I
for.
worked at a bar. It was like, oh, okay, I'll take this one and that one, and then tomorrow you.
Yep.
It was a disaster. A disaster. And then after I learned about all the shit that like goes down in parties, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Blame
I'm
it on the
not just
Parkinson's.
giant
You're
slut.
not.
I'm a giant slut
Yeah.
with Parkinson's.
Yeah, you're
No, I'm kidding.
you're not a whore. You just don't have dopamine.
I'm a Parker whore.
Parker whore.
I'm a dope whore.
We need to remember that one. We get
You're a
Steve to
dope
make that
slut.
shirt.
Yeah. Yo, I don't think Steve's gonna want to make
Nope.
that. You're a dope slut. Yeah, there you go.
Dope slut.
Oh, that's
Dope
That's what
slut.
Dan calls me. No, I'm kidding.
See, my impulse control leads me to buy shit that I don't really need, or video games that I'm not going to play,
Yeah.
or that's where
Books that I'm never going to read.
yeah.
Books. Oh God, books.
I've never slid in anywhere. Like, I mean, I don't know if it's the fact that, you know, I'm autistic or what, but my version of flirting and hitting on somebody was making eye contact and talking to them. Like, I mean,
Yeah, you're
that
like,
was
hey,
about
I'm
it.
looking at you right now.
Yeah.
Oh, and
Now this is coming from my wife. She said I flirt like I breathe.
Angie told me she stalked
Constantly?
me for
Yes.
months.
Constantly.
I had
Basically, yeah.
I cannot pick up on subtlety. I have nothing. She's like, I flirted with you. I was like, but you had a boyfriend and he was there with you. And she's like, yeah, but I was trying to get rid of him. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do? She's like, you didn't think it was odd that I always showed up when you were on break at work? Because I went in and got your schedule and wrote it down so I would know. I was like, you never thought about that.
No, it just doesn't click.
Yeah.
I've never known when a woman was hitting on me, ever. I just never knew.
I think that's like a guy thing though, because like Dan says the same thing. Like he's like, I
Just
didn't
oblivious.
realize that you were flirting with me when we first started talking. I thought you were just nice.
Yeah, but I think that's a relationship because there's always one person that's stronger, that comes on stronger than the other.
Yeah.
So that's
Well,
just.
I mean, he's more extroverted, but I'm better at conversation, so it's strange. You know, he's definitely more extroverted, but he's not. Conversation is difficult for him. Whereas obviously it's not difficult for me. So,
Yeah, we noticed.
are you sure?
You're a talker?
You've just been watching my videos. They have an unfair advantage.
Yeah, that's true.
In real life, I talk way more. But subtlety is you know, not there for some people, and they just don't read. They just don't read past it. You know.
I have been married for 22 years, and the amount of friends that come to me for dating advice is rather disturbing because I don't give good advice at all. How do you think is he like? Should they'll send the screenshots of the conversations that they're having with these dudes? I'm like, I don't know. Just tell them that you want to fucking, not have a relationship.
Yeah.
Like, why can't you just do that? Like,
That's
can we
me.
just no subtlety? Like, are you DTF? Okay, let's go.
They're like, should I bang him? I'm like, yes, bang him, bang him. Tell me about it later.
Do it. Don't
And
catch
they're like,
the
are you
sesh.
sure? Like, yeah, no, do the thing. Do the thing.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great.
It's not always great.
No,
it's
it's not gonna be great.
See, I've been told I give great relationship advice, and I have an odd amount of female friends that come to me for dating advice for some reason.
I don't.
I give horrible advice.
Then again, 2 kids with a married man. So,
think this was a good chat.
Coming back full circle, sort of to the actual Parkinson thing that we started
Oh
with.
yeah.
One
We
thing.
did go down the rabbit hole.
We have Parkinson's.
Wait, we have Parkinson's?
What?
Still,
But you're
still?
so young.
I'm sorry to hear that, but you look great.
Yeah, you're so young.
But I'm so sorry to hear that.
Oh, the first time I spoke at an event, the ladies we spoke over the phone. They're like, "Oh, just show up on the day of. Don't go to the ticket booth. Walk up to the floor and tell them that you're there to present." So I walk up, and the lady's checking tickets, and I'm like, "Oh, they told me to tell you that I'm a presenter." And she's like, "What are you presenting about?" I said, "My Parkinson's," and the look on her face, she just dropped. And she's like, "I'm sorry." I said, "No, you asked. I just figured I answer."
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, go ahead, Blake.
Get a dumb answer.
Yeah, that's
Well,
a good answer.
something that I've told my wife, but I haven't really told anybody else in my family or circle of friends, is that every moment that I'm awake, I'm aware that I have it.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Every single moment.
Except I'm the same way, except for the first 5 to 10 seconds when I first wake up. I call it my moment of bliss, because it's not till I do that morning stretch where I try to get out of bed that it impedes my life. But that first 5 seconds when I open my eyes, it's like I slightly forget for a slight second. And then I go to move and start my day, and it's like, oh yeah, that's right, it wasn't a dream.
Yeah.
So when you dream, do you have Parkinson's?
No.
No.
I don't think so. Gotta think of it. No.
I mean,
No.
'cause
It's always
I've noticed,
something else.
I've noticed this lately. Like I'm aware that, I'm aware that I'm conscious of who I am, that I have it. But in my dreams, I don't have any of the symptoms. I don't have any of the motor symptoms. Because, look, our brains know what to do. So it can move. Like in my dreams, my brain, my subconscious or whatever that's controlling it knows what to do. It's just that in my wakeful state, there's static on the line to get, this hand to do what it's supposed to.
Yeah. And then it's funny you say that, because one time someone asked me what was my native language, because I speak Spanish and English, and I said I learned them both simultaneously. They're like, "No, which one do you dream in?" And I was like, "Wait, what do you mean?" They're like, "You dream in your native language, and I dream in English." But I learned English and Spanish. I literally learned it simultaneously, because my grandmother, everyone in my house spoke Spanish, but everything on the TV was English, and I went to school in America. I was first generation born here. But my native language is English, because that's what I technically learned slightly first, but yeah.
Yeah, you learned it faster, probably.
Yeah.
It would be the same language that you think in.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just watched
Interesting.
I just watched something on neuroplasticity, and it says that was saying that we think that we have a better ability to learn language when we're younger, but typically it builds as you age. But when you're learning to speak a language, whether it be English or whatever's more prevalent, your brain's taking everything else. Like, you actually have the ability to learn any language when you're a child. Like, any language. You could learn multiple languages if you need to.
Mm-hmm.
And you just take whatever information is in there, if you're not using it, and you move it out. You take that synapse and you move it somewhere else. And that's essentially what neuroplasticity does for your brain, even after the fact. So it's interesting that you said that, because, like, you could have been multilingual, but it's what you use more of.
Yeah.
Well, and the language that you learn from before the age of 5 is learned in a completely different spot in your brain than languages learned afterwards.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's wild too.
They say that you actually, we have a tendency, because of our priorities in society, our brain forms from, from the back to the front. So we're working more on cognitive and and learning and things like that, and we're not focusing on emotions.
That's why
And
kids don't have filters.
That's why they're
right,
sociopaths.
right, right. Wait, is that bad?
Kids are
Kids,
sociopaths.
not adults. Kids,
Oh,
kids.
and narcissists. Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Imagine my surprise that Blake brought up sociopaths.
Do I look like one?
Yes.
Yeah, you look like a dude.
Oh, God.
Just a regular dude.
You ask, I answer.
The vibe I'm trying to give off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Manifest that shit.
Until you meet them.
Yeah, until you meet me. Yeah.
The greatest
Yeah.
thing was when you did that that interview when you were in DC, and you were talking about wearing the Parkinson's sweatshirt, and the person thought that they're like, oh, you have it, and you're like, no, I'm just that distasteful. And I was like, oh, that's amazing. Oh wait, you have Parkinson's? No, I'm just that distasteful. I was
No.
like, that's so great.
Nice.
That's so great.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that's what we should do.
Well, that's
instead
like the bathroom TikTok that I did, and the guy that got pissed off.
Which
Yeah.
one was that?
The one peeing with Parkinson's, or peeing before Parkinson's, or peeing after Parkinson's.
That one was great too.
Everyone's like, why would he be making fun of people if he didn't have it? Like,
Right? Like, pretty stupid.
It's like, I think I've earned it. I've earned this right to do this.
my
Go.
uncle, by marriage, it's not familial, has Parkinson's, and he has a catheter. All the boys in the room can be like, how,
I'm thinking smart man.
how do you do a I mean, they're not related, but, it's not out of convenience. Fuck it, I'll just put a catheter in. Who says that? But
Yes.
I can't
No one's over-
imagine having tremors and dealing with it.
Most of my Parky guy friends sit down too. The ones that I've talked to
Really?
about it. Most of them say they sit down.
Really?
I've
Yeah.
been sitting for years.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought it was married.
Really?
Oh yeah, it's so much easier, and I never have to worry about this whole toilet seat issue.
Yeah. Why would you not? I mean, it just seems
Because
hard.
I'm lazy?
Pressure. I would sit down if I was a dude. I'd be like, fuck this. I'm not
This
standing
is a
up.
total light bulb moment for me.
It's too much trouble.
Welcome to the talk.
Yeah.
Just sit
Welcome to the
down.
TED Talk.
Plus,
Yeah,
Who?
that can be.
who enjoys hearing a guy going pee in a bathroom? All you hear is
Like a
when you
bounce.
sit, you don't hear that.
Now, I
I
will
never thought
admit,
about
Oh,
that.
wonderful.
I do enjoy going outside and peeing off of the back porch.
Oh my gosh.
But,
Oh, that's not even fair.
Found the country boy right here.
well, it's
You did.
it's priority.
Listen, we don't get into those conversations in public.
I said, we got it. We
Sure
got
you
to.
do.
So we have to have enough land, and we have to position the house in a certain way so that I can go off the back porch.
You're awfully close to the interstate, Chris.
But the house blocks the view.
Okay.
When you're going that
So
fast, you can't
not
see
off the
anything
front porch
anyways.
then.
No, not off the front porch.
You can't see anything anyways. You're going too fast.
And she's like, "What about the neighbors?" I was like, "Yeah, there's trees in the way. It's okay." But they move, so I'm good.
Nice.
Right off the steps, just woo.
Congratulations on all that.
I had never a sign neighbor saying no peeing out the front porch. Pissed me off.
It's much harder to write your name in the snow when you're a girl.
You get a
Yeah, it's a
stencil.
lot more effort.
That is determination.
But he's not
I
wrong.
mean,
Oh, just so you know, my nickname is O.
More like spray paint. Just get the stencil and lay it down first.
you could also
I came home from
probably
work
do a
today.
pretty decent eye.
I came home from work one night and I looked at it had snowed, and like I look at the ground and there's like somebody. I'm like, it looks like someone tried to pee their name into the snow. And my neighbor, her son was like 4, and he was always just dropping his pants everywhere.
Yeah,
So
big boys,
I was
yeah.
like, oh, it's probably little Nicholas from next door. He was always coming over and being a pain in the ass. So I go inside and I say to my ex, I'm like, Jason, somebody peed out the front door. And he was like, I was like, I think they tried to write their name in the snow. And he was like, and I'm like, I think maybe it was Nicholas. He's like, yeah, go take a look at it. And I'm like, what? So I go back outside. He's like, just stand back. He's like, maybe you could read it. I stand back. It says JASO. He's like, I didn't drink enough water. Like, you idiot.
My cursive was never that good, anyways.
That's, if your bladder's not that full, you can't have, your letters can't be that big.
Right.
I was like, I can't. I was like,
You gotta
I just
plan
can't.
ahead, right?